Howdy folks, how's it going? Welcome to my Virgin Kitchen, it's Barry here, and today we're tasting some more treats from around the world that you guys have been sending me. It's the turn of Norway today, and I want to thank Ida and Johan for sending me two separate packages. Hopefully you don't know each other, but you might. Norway might be quite small, I don't know. So yeah, they've sent me two parcels of packages and treats and stuff from Norway. Johan, in fact, has sent me some complex algebra equations on the back of his. I think it was some homework left over, but just a little life lesson. Have we ever used algebra again? Ever? Kind of pointless. So yeah, we're going to crack on and taste these amazing Norwegian treats. There's some great stuff down there, but I need to let you guys know I'm not stopping doing my mini foods, my giant foods, my food fears, all that kind of crazy stuff. It's just I've got a lot of I got a lot of treats from all around the world down there that I need to get rid of, otherwise Mrs. Barry is going to like kill me. It's like the kitchen's bombarded with like an international atlas of food. Norway, let's do this. Right, so first up is something called Mandler pudding. I probably pronounced that wrong like I do most of these videos, so I do apologise in advance for any of you Norwegians out there. So yeah, this Mandler pudding, I've already done the steps for it. I got a saucepan, poured my milk in it, add the actual powdered contents from this, stirred over a heat until it started to boil, and poured it into a silicone mould. And it's now in the fridge right now setting. So as we do the other ones, we'll come back to it right at the end and have some Mandler pudding. That was an easy start, wasn't it? Right, so this package is something called hockey pucker, which could be considered an insult possibly. What are you, man, some kind of hockey pucker? But on the front it's got a hockey player, indeed. Probably not the most attractive hockey player you've ever seen. In fact, it's something like this. If you play your cards right, you could get married to somebody like me. Yeah. It also says salt on the front cover, but with an E on the end. So maybe these are salt flavoured sweets. But if that is as hard as the translation is going to get today, I should be quite happy, or maybe even ecstatic, about that. I'm not sure though. Wow, holy hockey pucker, that was hard to get into. These smell like quite like dog foody tablets, and they're quite fat and chunky. Here we go. Ah! That, my friends, was licorice, and I hate licorice. Hockey puckers wasn't salt. I was like quite willing to have a salt flavoured. I hate licorice. Hashtag not a cool Norwegian thing to do, my friends. Was that Ida or Yona? Whoever that is, I'm coming to get you. Right, so next up is something called Fox, and I like the simplicity of this packaging. It says citron on the front, not like the car, but it's lemon, so it's going to freshen my palate. But we know if this was Japanese packaging, there would be some sort of samurai fox, like a fox wielding samurai fighting off an octopus dressed as a cowgirl, possibly. But the word fox is pretty cool. If you could only say one word in the entire English language, if someone asked you a question, hi, what's your name? Fox. How old are you? Fox. It's quite, I like it. Fox. Did you like that? No? Okay, let's just try it. Ooh, okay, so it's got like an inner sheafy layer. Now there was a sweet, I think it was from Japan, where we weren't sure whether you were supposed to take off that sort of shiny wrapper, but these have got quite warm in my kitchen, as you can see, they're quite sticky. It's the sort of thing, yeah, it would stick to my face. So yeah, let's see if we can try and eat it without getting any paper on it. Oh my goodness, that was delicious. Sorry, some of you guys have said, Barry, can you not chomp so loudly when you're doing these videos? I do apologise about that, but some of you guys like to know that I'm eating it and not just going, that was nice. Good, there's like Starburst here in the UK and also US, kind of like a nice chunky lemon one of those, or citron. Good times, liking it. Right, so next up is something called milk chocolate. And you know when you do that sort of mental translation, no matter what country you're in, you can't really speak their language, but you do sort of like a half your own language and half theirs, like, unos beer, please, and you just sort of do that to this milk chocolate, and it is indeed one of the most popular chocolates in Norway, and it's described as a fairy tale in a wrapper. On the front, actually, there is a farmer climbing up to look at a cow or a bull who has suddenly managed to get on top of a roof, and he's not looking happy about it. He's like, get down, farmer, or I'm gonna hit you with my horns and my bell. Let's get into this fairy tale taste sensation. Amazing, I've just taken off the wrapper. It's a little hot in here, so it's starting to melt. I'll break it up. But there was a castle, I'll just rebuild it back together. There was like a Disney style castle on the front, and it feels quite soft. It smells good, here we go. Holy wow, that really does taste good. It's smooth, a little bit of milk in there, kind of very similar to British chocolate actually. It really does taste like a fairy tale. It's like they've got the 7 dwarves, a little dash of Cinderella as well, cocoa powder on it, whisk them up in a blender, and then it's like, yeah, but in chocolate form, obviously. By the hair of Rapunzel, that is a fairy tale bar. Loving that one. Right, so next up is something called a quick Lunge, which is described as a chocolate wafer, which could be quite similar to a Kit Kat or even the Vaporitos from the last video. Do you like how I pulled in some stuff from the last taste video? Clever, right? So yeah, this is quick lunge, which to me sounds like something a fitness instructor would tell you to do. Right guys, we're just gonna do a quick lunge, you know, like a lunge. And like you do it, it's like, get down and give me 500 more. So apparently this is a chocolate wafer. Oh wow, it looks a lot like a Kit Kat. Incidentally, Kit Kats are on the way, wasabi Kit Kats, all that stuff, good times. Right, so I've just snapped off a shard of it, and as you can see, it is a lot like a Kit Kat, although it appears to have one extra ridge of wafer. Oh, that's so good. Just, tastes just like a Kit Kat. It is a cat then. If you eat a cat, bad times. That's good too, loving it. Right, I've just had a quick look at the note that Ida has sent me, and apparently these quick lunges are a must while skiing, but also she says, and an orange of course. So I don't have an orange right now, but what I'm like interpreting from this is that every Norwegian only skis with one arm. So they ski, this is an orange, not a lemon, okay? So they ski one-handed with a lemon. Now, do they take this one step further and do every sort of household activity, like cleaning with a lemon in their hand or an orange, or like Xbox Live, the American dudes online going, oh my God, why is he like playing Xbox one-handed? It's because I'm Norwegian, damn it. That's because I'm Norwegian, damn it. I use an orange in my other hand. No. Right, so next up is something called Good Brand or Lost. Now I've been doing a few of these videos now, and you're probably starting to understand my humour, so I'm going to give you 2 seconds to work out what you think I'm going to say about Good Brand or Lost. I think that was 2 seconds. So basically you've got a friend called Good Brand, he's gone missing, you ask your friend, where's Good Brand gone? And he replies, Good Brand or Lost. Alright, so as you know, I kind of hate cheese, but apparently this is like cheese's lovely younger sister. It's sweeter and nicer. So what they do apparently with the cheese making process, you know, the curds and the whey, they take the whey, which a lot of people throw it out apparently, and they warm it up with sugar until it caramelizes and goes like a brownie colour like this. So I am like quite intrigued by this. Let's open it up. Oh my goodness, that smells amazing. And you know, like you get that sort of American style cheese, you know, for burgers and stuff. It's come in like a little cellophane pack, so I can peel it off like cheese, like this. Let's fold it up and just chuck it all in my mouth. It's sort of breaking, but here we go. Try to hold it in. Oh God. Bah! Yuck, I had to spit that out. I am sorry to report, that is quite disgusting if you are hating cheese like I do. The smell of this, get a little waft of that with you guys, smell that. It smells amazing, like the most amazing caramel, like caramel sort of toffee smell going on. But then you eat it, and it was the texture of cheese, it was the taste of cheese. I was lying to me. At first it was going to be caramel, and oh my goodness, I am not happy about this. My general conclusion to cheese right now is I either like it melted on a pizza or on cheese on toast, or I like cheesy music. You know, like never gonna give you up. Cheesy music will get me dancing anytime. But I do like the Norwegians' efforts to make things like reusable again, that you just sort of take for granted and chuck away. Like the One Direction box of tissues I've got here. Can I tell you these One Direction? A box of tissues. Look, it hasn't got like One Direction on it. It is just a box of tissues, £1 more than any other box, but my girls really wanted it. Don't let me get started on this, so I could recycle this and make it into a wall chart, something like that, right? Not gonna happen, not gonna happen. Right, so next up is something called FISC, which sounds to me like possibly a destination. Hey, did you have a great holiday? Yes I did, thank you very much. I just came back from FISC. No, maybe not, but anyhow, these are haddock flakes. So let's get straight into these and let the fish in us out. I've just opened it up. That smells like a fish protest in a bag. Yep, so there we go, it is indeed a haddock flake. It's quite thick in texture, quite leathery. There we go. Oh, like the texture of a moustache. Yeah, it really does taste like a well-groomed moustache, almost like a broom handle. It's like wide and furry going down there, very dry, I need a drink, but kind of like a chewing gum vibe going on too. I do kind of like it. The only problem is it smells. You know, when you think that you've like washed and you're like, oh, I've got rid of that smell. It's like I do dishes here, like recipe videos, and make like something with garlic, chopping it all up, getting on your hands. You wash, you go have a shower, you think, yeah, I didn't smell of garlic, and you go out, you see your friends are like, you stink of garlic, man, get home. So yeah, that's the thing. Enjoy them, kind of nice, kind of mild, but you will smell of fish. Right, so next up is something called kempelumper. Now I'm not going to tell you what came to my mind when I just said that. I'll let your imagination run wild, but it also says the word jordbær on it. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, and it's got a real poor man's version of M&M on the front, or maybe the Norwegian version, M-N. N's, not M's. Yeah. Right, so unless I'm mistaken, there does not appear to be a note on these Klumper things, so there is a risk it could be a laxative or something worse, in which case the video will end soon and I will apologise, but they look like red sort of tablets. Ooh, they smell alright actually, let's have a look, let's get one out. Holy schmoly, look at the size of that! Wow, it's like one of them sort of anti-smoking patches, it's like a big square shaped thing. Ooh, a little bit of fizz on it. I don't think it's a laxative. Wow guys, that was really nice. Effectively just a hard-boiled sweet, but a little sort of fizzy kick on the outside edge. Absolutely loving it, and I think it was strawberry flavoured, which was a welcome break. It could be strawberry flavoured laxative, I'm not sure. Welcome break from licorice, fish, and the cheese thing, which is still whirling around my mouth. It's like a Norwegian taste adventure right now, but that was really, really good. There's Klumpers, NNN style, NNN. Lovely. Right, so next up is something called Walter's Mandler, and it's got like a Norwegian version of Gandhi on the front cover. It's made by a company called Freya. Actually, I used to know an old lady called Freya. My first ever job, it was at a car shop. We used to sell car parts, stuff like that. There was an old lady called Freya. No one knew who she was, and she'd walk outside the shop every day, and we had these baskets outside, and she would just come in and throw car sponges at us. We found that a little bit weird, but she also had a fascination for picking up coins on the floor. So one day, we super glued down a 50p piece, and she did get it up eventually with a fork. Thinking about it, she's probably dead now, so I don't really know where I'm going with that story. But anyhow, this looks amazing, and the packaging is incredible too, because you can see there, it's got a little gap, and I can feel there's a hole in the chocolate bar. Now, I think it could be part of a competition, but that is amazing marketing, and they're also getting away by charging you more for giving you less. I just nipped and got this very attractive platter for you because it's starting to fall apart, but as you can see, look, it has indeed got a block missing, which is fine for the purposes of this competition. But could you imagine if you went to the shop and got a packet of eggs, got home and opened them up, although you should always check your eggs at the shop, but you got home and went, oh my gosh, there's 5 eggs. You'd be pretty upset, but for chocolate, weight loss. All right, so let's have a piece of this. It's chocolate with what appears to be nuts in there. Oh my God. God bless you, Norway. Oh my goodness, the taste is incredible. Simply chocolate and nuts. Definitely an R. Kelly moment. My mind's telling me no, but it's like Norwegians have all got together and got a huge pot and gone, come on guys, let's get everything good about us in a little pot, pour it in chocolate, put some nuts in there. So good, I'm getting emotional. Love you, Norway. Right, so next up is a chocolate bar called Stratos. Now, you know when you go away on holiday with your parents, there's always that one waiter where your mum would catch his eye. It's quite sleazy, and you know, your mum wouldn't realise that she'd fallen for his charms. He'd be like, Dad, where's Mum gone? Oh, don't worry, son, she's just off playing tennis with Stratos. You know exactly what I'm talking about right there. But speaking of stuff like that, there's a testosterone-fueled blue ball on the front cover going, rah! But it's quite, you know, the cover's quite explanative. I can see that it's chocolate with like bright coloured shells in, and that excites me. Okay, that's quite reassuring to see it's chocolate. It's not some waiter that jumps out going, surprise, I'm here with your mother, she got me a visa. True story. Not true story, anyhow. Oh my goodness. I am loving that blue ball right now. This chocolate is half like an Aero, which is a very bubbly chocolate here in the UK. And what they do is they sort of vacuum it to get bubbles in just before it sets. That's how they get that in there. But look, well, halfway in. Oh no, I've eaten one of the shells. But the shells, coloured shells scattered all the way through it. That is incredible. So good. Look, there's the coloured shells. Pretty cool, right? And an amazing negotiating weapon if Stratos is there with your mum. You're like, Stratos, take the chocolate bar, give me back my mum. So next up is something called Smurf. Now apparently you know this funky O's with a slash, O with a slash, O with a slash, that is pronounced like So this is Smurf. So does that mean that Norwegians pronounce Smurfs like Smurf with an O? Smurf. I don't really know, but this is chocolate and I want to taste it. Oh my goodness, check this out. It's like little beads on it. Let's just snap off one. It's caramel. Is it caramel or is it cheese? I'm really freaked out right now. Cheese in chocolate, like this would be scary, but oh. Guys, we've had like a chocolate roller coaster then, like 1 or 2 or even 3 chocolates in a row. I'm on a little bit of a sugar high, but I am loving that. For a minute, I felt like I was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, famous Norwegian footballer, now retired manager. Never looks any older though. You know, it's like just they call him the baby face. Looks like a baby. Right, so next up we have a selection of pâtés. Now I don't mind pâtés, I actually quite like them. They're kind of creamy, and even liver pâté. I have a fear of liver, but liver pâté, for some reason I can do it. Now I think it does freak me out right now is on the front we've got a mackerel pâté and a salmon. You've got like the fish on the cover, but on the liver, you don't have a picture of liver, although that might actually freak people out even more. You have a picture of a small child. Now I want to try and imagine that this is Phoebe or Chloe, and you know, being quite a proud dad, someone's like, oh, how are Phoebe and Chloe getting on? Oh yeah, really well. They're actually the face of a Norwegian pâté brand. Yeah, liver pâté. Oh, who did they share it with? You know anyone else famous? A mackerel and a salmon? Hashtag proud dad. Don't think so. Yep, so as I say, I really do like pâté. So what I've decided to do is smear it all on one piece of bread, kind of like a fish heaven right there. Although it does kind of look like a sunburn chart. This guy really got burnt and should have worn more sun cream and all stuff like that. Maybe not. Let's just roll this up into some sort of big fishy cigar. For sure. I've got to say, fair play Norway, that is some of the best pâté I've ever tasted. I really like that. I'm going to be ordering more of that stuff. But anyhow, let's see if the Mandler pudding is set and ready. Okay guys, check this out. Can you see it wobbling there? How cool is that? I don't want any silly puns or anything like that. We're going to take it hardcore. Apparently it's quite cool. It's very firm actually, very firm indeed. I'll just take a wedge out like this. Kind of like made a little beehive effect there. It's quite nice to have raspberry sauce on it. But one thing I was thinking, after boiling it there, I really wanted to pour a little bit of Bailey's in there. Ooh, kinky. Oh yeah, folks, this wibbly beehive is a mild, nutty, kind of like custardy blancmange kind of vibe going on. It's not too almondy either, otherwise it'd be too much like marzipan, and I do not like marzipan, but for some reason I like it. I like all these Norwegian foods, and there's only one way to describe how I'm feeling right now. I've had the time of my life. Oh, I had the time of my life. This could be love. Oh. Sorry, really poor effort of the Dirty Dancing lift with the envelope sent from Norway. Thank you very much, Ida and Jona, for sending these amazing Norwegian packages. They were just all so good and intriguing, apart from the cheese, apart from the licorice, and the fish was a little bit funny, but I'm still going to munch on it. So good. Guys, now wherever you are in the world, you're all sending me these packages. Thank you so much. If there's a country that I haven't got so far, get in touch, myvirginkitchen.com on the contact form, and I'll get in touch with you. But thank you so much for enjoying these videos. I have fun finding out about your countries too. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give a thumbs up, share, subscribe and comment. Wow, in a Norwegian, done. See you next time. Good times.